It's Tuesday, October 22nd. I don't even know what day it is. I was thinking it was Monday. This is my life. This is my life. I never know what day it is. But it is day 8. We've done a whole week of this. And, what? And Minxie is sick of it. She's sick of it. She's done. But today we have more movies and a little bit of dust. Let's let's clear off the dust, shall we? So this is our stack of movies that we have here today. I've already seen a couple of them, and one of them, Hobbs, it's very special. It's very special to you. First off, we have Rings. Was this the newest one? Yes, because it has the guy from Big Bang Theory / Roseanne in it. This is the newest Ring movie, and honestly, I was a little bit disappointed in it because, like, where were the scares? The scares. I know I saw this I'm pretty sure I went to see this in the theater. I think it did. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. A thrilling return to franchise roots. I don't really think so. Because the first one was like creepy kind of, and I don't know. This was just missing something. I think it dealt more with its two, like, the main characters, and he might have been a main character. I don't really remember. But yeah, I just don't remember there being much to this, like too much story, too much scares. So it was a little bit disappointing, but I don't know why I bought it then. But maybe I didn't see it in the theater. Maybe I missed it in the theater and I bought it, and that's why I have that disappointment of a movie. I also have, and it's dusty as well, My Soul to Take. I enjoyed this one. That's why I ended up buying it. So I would say, even though I don't really necessarily remember exactly what this is, only one has the power to save their souls. On the day the Riverton Ripper vanished without a trace, 7 children were born. Today they're all turning 16 and turning up dead. Legendary director Wes Craven keeps your heart racing with a suspense thriller filled with twists, turns, and a dark secret that will send your soul searching for cover. There's actually 2 terrifying alternate endings. So apparently they couldn't really decide what they wanted to do with this, because if there's 2 alternate endings and then the ending they actually went with, which I don't really recall, one of the... I don't know. The mystery was, I guess 3 different... They couldn't decide between making 3 different people the mystery, whatever. I watched this and I enjoyed it but this one is, I haven't opened it yet, but I bought it in case I wanted to watch it again, I guess. So, but of course it has the slipcover. This one, I can't say I was disappointed with Krampus. It wasn't as... I thought it was going to be a hell of a lot scarier than it actually was. And it was kind of almost Gremlins level. Especially with, like, the killer toys and all that kind of stuff. So, like, I really... Like, I wanted this to be scarier than it was. But it was an okay movie for what it was. It's definitely... I would say Krampus is worth a watch. It's not scary... Not as scary as I was hoping for. I wanted it to be scary as hell, I guess. You better watch out. But it just wasn't quite as dark and creepy and evil as I wanted it to be. But it was okay for what it was. It was enjoyable. It was definitely enjoyable. So I would say Krampus is definitely worth a watch. This movie... Okay. This movie. And I even apparently ended up with the only at Best Buy exclusive Blu-ray edition featuring the full-length documentary that inspired the film. This movie, disappointing. I never know how I come across these things online. The House is October Built. It's about these haunted houses that they have every year for Halloween, and like these people are traveling around and visiting different haunted houses and stuff, looking for the next big thrill. I think. Underneath the fake blood and cheap masks of countless haunted houses attractions across the country, there are whispers of a truly terrifying alternative. Looking to find an authentic, blood-curdling good fright for Halloween, 5 friends set off on a road trip in an RV to track down this underground haunt. Just when their search seems to reach a dead end, strange and disturbing things start happening, and it becomes clear that the haunt has come to them. And, I mean, obviously, there's going to be spoilers here, so if you don't want spoilers, just mute me until I get to the next movie. I don't like. I remember they visited many different haunted houses, and there's this one. I think is it maybe this girl? There's one of the girls that kind of like seems to follow them or something, and I thought it's kind of like she just keeps popping up, but it's like they keep going to different haunted houses, and it's like I guess almost like I don't know. I guess it's supposed to be that thing where I don't know. Like you would think maybe they would get to the one, and then they would be trapped there, and it's kind of like it's just like they just keep. I guess any suspense that it builds up, kind of fell flat for me because it's just kind of like, they got out of that haunted house and then they went to the next one and nothing really happened. I don't really remember much really happening. But I guess maybe it's supposed to be a slow burn, like like I said, this girl, one of them pops up more than once or something, so it's like they're being followed, you know. But then it's like if they're following them, they don't do anything. Like, I think once they finally get to like maybe the final haunted house or whatever, but yeah, it's kind of like I don't know. They just keep going to different haunted houses, and it's kind of like okay, well. Is anything ever really gonna happen? Are they gonna get trapped in one? Is somebody gonna, I don't know. It just didn't really, whatever this was, it was built up from what I had seen as like this big thing, and then it was kind of like, well, and I understand the idea behind it is that what if real psychos actually run a haunted house and you don't know it, and like you go in there and the chainsaws are real and blah 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 blah. I think it kind of had maybe an element of that. I can't think of the guy's name. Michael Douglas, the game where he signs up for this because his life is boring and he signs up for this game that fucks with his life in many different ways, which was a good movie actually. It was very entertaining because you never know what was going to happen next, and I think that was kind of the idea, what was supposed to be behind this. Like they got involved with maybe some psychos, or maybe not really psychos, but they were acting psycho and following them around. But then there just wasn't really a payoff for me with this. And it was, I mean, maybe at the end, finally. I can't honestly remember the end necessarily. Kind of, maybe. But yeah, it's just kind of like, it was just them traveling around to different haunted houses. It was kind of like, I guess it took a while for the payoff to finally get there, for me on this one. So, kind of disappointing. I think they might have made a second one of those. Okay, we're good. You can come back. We're done with that one. It's done. Our next one is It. It. My uncle actually gave me this. So, because he ended up accidentally with 2 copies of it, I guess. So, and I haven't seen the second one yet. I haven't, because I suck at life. And I think it might have come out when we were on vacation, maybe, so I didn't get a chance to watch it. Watch it. It might actually still be in theaters. I don't know. I did like it. I did enjoy it. There was kind of, I mean, there was creepy parts. There was a lot of time in between, the creepy parts, I guess. But I did enjoy this for what it was, And I have this thanks to my uncle. So this one I enjoyed. Cabin in the Woods. And of course, see, look, it's the cool slipcover. I gotta get the cool slipcover. It's not 3D, but this is a fun movie. It's one of those that it's like tongue in cheek. It balances well, I think, the funny and the suspenseful and the kind of scary and the whatever. This Cabin in the Woods was a fun ride, and of course, I don't always have a hard time saying that Joss Whedon does wrong, but because this was his thing, so of course, I mean, he does a lot right as far as I'm concerned. I'm a weed knight. So this I would highly suggest. And if you want to own the cool whoopee slipcover, like I do, you're cool. You're cool. This one I feel like I got in a horror block, and I have not watched it yet. American Fright Fest. Blood runs rampant on Halloween night when a small town's fright fest becomes real inside the walls of a long-abandoned asylum. Spencer Crowe, a former A-list horror director, long past his prime, having been in and out of rehab several times, gets a second chance at his career when he's given the opportunity to produce a local fright fest. I feel like those two sentences were switched. I don't know. It sounded better the other way around to me. So, did I get this from? Or did I hear about it and I decided to buy it and then of course not watch it like I do all my other movies? American Fright Fest. Have not watched this one yet. Sounds like an interesting enough premise. It was at, what's his name? It might be. I was looking through the names here. Scream for your life. It looks like, can't think of his name, but I don't see this, Yandu from, Michael Rooker? Michael Rooker? Is that who I'm thinking of? Is that his name? His name's not in here that I can find, anyway. So maybe it's just a dude that looks like him. But, sounds interesting. I don't know. I might watch it one of these days. Who knows? I don't know what this is. Digging up the marrow? The marrow? Digging up the marrow. The scariest movie of the past 2 decades. Okay. Take your word for that. Wolf Cop. Oh, this is another one. The House is October Built is in here. Digging up the marrow. Hellstorm, Wolf Creek. Oh, Wolf Creek 2. Remember we had Wolf Creek the other day. Odd Thomas. I kind of think I wanted to watch Odd Thomas. I don't know. There's all these things on the back here of that. What am I buzzing? Oh, Marilee. Hello, Marilee. I did text her to ask her a question, so it's good that she wrote me back. I don't have a clue. What if ghastly images and abominations haunting our collective nightmares actually exist? Writer-director Adam Green sets out to make a documentary exploring this tantalizing premise after being contacted by a mysterious man named William Decker. Decker claims he can prove that monsters are real and insists these grotesque creatures are forgotten, hideously deformed humanoids inhabiting a vast underground metropolis. Determined to expose the truth, Green embarks on a bone-chilling odyssey and gets more than he bargained for when he dares to go digging up the marrow. So, taps into primal fears you didn't even know existed. Okay, so this is a movie, and I own it, and I can't tell you anything about it, like most of them. I don't know. Where did this come from? Where did this come from? I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I read a story about, like controversial movies or whatever, and of course that makes me want to watch them, so then I just go out and buy them, and I'm like, I'll have them to watch when I want to watch them, and then I don't watch them, and then forget I was ever interested in the first place. Pew, light. Aziz, light! Okay, once again, the editor. I want to say this was a horror block item. Devoted fans of the Italian, not gelato, giallo genre will get a hoot out of the precision with which the editor satirizes their clumsier conventions. Ray Sisso was once the greatest editor in the world, the greatest editor the world had ever seen. Since a horrific accident left him with 4 wooden fingers on his right hand, he's had to resort to cutting pulp films and trash pictures. When the lead actors from the film he's been editing are murdered, Ray is fingered as the #1 suspect. The bodies continue to pile up in this absurdist giallo thriller? I don't know, something. Functioning as a straight-up send-up of Dario Argento, Mario Bava, and the cinematic sorcerers of 70s slasher films, Canadian horror comedy The Editor is a charming tribute to the unsung classics of giallo, a Italian subgenre known for its gory and gruesome erotic horror. Okay. I want to say this was a horror block item. I don't know. But I own it, and here it is, and I haven't watched it, so who knows? Now, I know where this came from. Subspecies. This was definitely a full moon grab bag, mystery box, whatever you want to call it, one of those things. And I'd never seen Subspecies, and it's one of their more well-known, I think, franchises. So, or at least it used to be, I don't know. Oh, this is the 20th anniversary edition, so that's cool. And I still haven't watched it. But it has Faison in it, Anders Hove. It's a General Hospital thing. I watch soaps too. I'm well-rounded. It's not horror movies all the time, obviously, since I haven't watched how many of these. They're still in the package. But yeah, this was definitely from some grab baggy kind of thing somewhere, and obviously I still haven't watched it. Now, this, The Uninvited. The main reason I wanted to watch this, honestly, was when, let me act like I'm not going to look up her name on the back here, but that's exactly what I'm doing. Elizabeth Banks. When Elizabeth Banks was cast as Rita Repulsa in the Power Ranger movie, which actually ended up being my favorite part of it, she plays a very creepy villain, very creepy version. I had mainly known Elizabeth Banks for her comedy. I hadn't known her for dramatic kind of, because I didn't watch the big one, Hunger Games. She was in Hunger Games. I guess she played kind of like a crazy batshit kind of person in that. So they thought that was a better choice, you know. But I didn't watch that. I didn't watch Hunger Games. I slept through the first one. I tried to watch it with my nieces, and I ended up sleeping through it. So I remember she played kind of a creepy bitch part in this movie. And it ended up being pretty good. There's a little bit of there's a little bit of a mystery. What's going on? What happened? Is she a bad mom? Is she a good mom? Is she a good witch? Or is she a bad witch? We don't know. You don't know until the end of the movie. And then you find out. So this is, I will say, even though I originally, like I said, just got it for, just to see Elizabeth Banks play a creepy bitch, to see how she would do as playing Rita Repulsa. This ended up being a pretty good movie, a pretty good watch, entertaining until the end, and yes, I would suggest this one, The Uninvited. And now, Hobbs, remember our conversation, what started this whole thing, boom. Better see my shiny slipcover? I love it so much. Boop, boop, boop. That's what actually initially drew me to this, and it's even shiny on the back. Look, it's even shiny on the back. I love it. I love it so much. Because, of course, you walk by under those, under the fluorescent lights, and this stuff, like, really, really shines for you. And there's a collectible holiday card inside. So, that was cool, too. I believe that's probably this thing. Better watch out. Happy holidays. So I knew nothing about this movie going into it. I actually like the design of the... I don't know if that's the DVD or the Blu-ray, but what does the other one look like? Oh, the other one is a wreath of knives. I kind of like that. That's pretty cool. But, yes, initially, of course, and I bought it for, even the side is shiny. Look at that. Look at that. I love it so much. I love it so much. Frightful and delightful. Get back in there. Get back in there, you. It ended up being a pretty damn good movie. You might be home, but you're not alone. In this fresh and gleefully twisted spin on home invasion horror, babysitter Ashley, Olivia DeJonge, must defend her young charges, Levi Miller, Ed Oxenbould, when intruders break into the house one snowy night. Or so she thinks. Nasty holiday fun, viciously entertaining. And this ended up being, like, pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. I can't really say much about it other than I love my shiny slipcover version of it, because it's like I don't want to give too much away, but I ended up liking this movie. This was very entertaining. This was worth a watch, and worth an own to watch again, I would say. Very much so. And get the shiny slipcover version, because it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. What's his name? Darcy? Or Dacre, however, Montgomery. He was in the Power Ranger movie, and he's Billy from Stranger Things, is in this. I was kind of like, oh, there's Jason from Power Rangers. I didn't know he was in this. But yes, this is very good. Better watch out. And you better watch out, you better watch it, I would say. For some cheesy, stupid line. But yes, so that was the whole reason I saw Hobbs had that movie. And since I'm mentioning him, I'll link him below again for that. And maybe I'll just link you directly to the video in question. And I was like, oh, I saw that he was going to be talking about Better Watch Out. And I can't remember exactly what the comment was. I don't know. I don't even know what day it is. Much less what I said, many, many days ago. But I know the conversation was about that movie, and that's kind of what started the whole thing. And he was like, oh, you should, do the, show us, do your horror movie thing. And I was like, I'll do my horror movie thing. That sounds fun. That sounds like a good, at least rest of October thing to do. So that's why we're here. That's why we're doing this. That's why hopefully you're enjoying hearing me talk about a bunch of movies that I don't get no fucking shit about. Even though I own them, which is ridiculous. But, I have a text from Mary Lee I have to look at and see, since I asked her a question. And she replied. And I'm hungry. I think I want food. So, and we've chatted enough. This is my 8th video doing this. They're all like 20 to 30 minutes long. I know you want me to shut up. Referee's getting up here and checking out the movies. And I will see you for what I see here.